Hi, this is Pete with Allen's Arsenal. I'm here to discuss to you today for Tactical Rifleman the new handgun that's coming to the Army, the Sig Sauer P320. Currently, right now, for most of the military, they're using the Beretta M9 or 92 FS as it's referred to in the civilian sector. The Army has announced this year, back in January, that they're going to go ahead and go with the Sig Sauer P320. The difference between this one and the one that they're going to, that one is going to be referred to as the M17. Also, it will have a ambidextrous thumb safety on both sides. This model right here is referred to as the 320 RX because it has the Romeo One red dot sight on the top of it. One major thing about this one that separates it from all the other handguns out there so far, it is very modularistic. As you see, I have different grips down here. The one that I currently have on this firearm is a large size, to where right here I have a medium and right here I have a small. You can notice how they come a little bit thinner and actually just a little bit smaller in the grip size. So that way, if you have someone who has hands like mine, or you go down to someone with small dainty hands, simply instead of the gun being uncomfortable, you can just change the lower part of it itself. Okay, and I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So with that, like with any firearm, you'll want to go ahead and make sure that the firearm is clear, magazine is released. We will go ahead and push back the slide, ensure that there's nothing in the chamber, allow it to go forward. You'll go ahead and take the slide, push it all the way back, lock it to the rear. You'll take the takedown pin, notice the groove, and you'll wind it all the way around to where it stops. Okay, and then from there you can push back on the slide, and unlike most of your other striker fire pistols out there today, you do not need to pull the trigger in order to release it. It will just simply slide right off. Notice I'm using my fingers below just to capture the recoil spring in case it were to come off. We'll just set that down real quick. From here you can go ahead and take the takedown pin, rotate it, generally move it back and forth a little bit to get it to come all the way out. So once you have the pin taken out, you can go ahead and take the trigger pack, pull forward and up, on the trigger group itself. You notice that there's nothing with the lower receiver. The trigger pack is the serial number portion of the gun. You can change this gun, even though this one right here is 9mm. Simply, if you just change the slide and the complete upper assembly to a different caliber, whether it be 357, 40 caliber, or 45, you can go ahead and put it back together and use that. Of course, you'll have to change the magazines as well. To put it back in, you notice the little tabs right back here. In the back right here is where it will set, and also ensure that the trigger first goes in place. From there, because it's setting back into that little groove, you'll push down and push it back to the rear, so that way you have enough space for the takedown. You'll notice there's a little bevel portion, and inside there, come in, and again, just wind it around. Continue to push it in until you get all the way flush with the receiver itself. Put it back on, have it wound all the way around clockwise just as before. From here, we'll go ahead and take the receiver, slide it back on the rails, lock it back up, go ahead and take the takedown pin, rotate it all the way around, and from there you've reassembled the gun. Another thing I'd like to point out with this firearm, this, like I said, this is the RX model with the Romeo One sight. When you do purchase it, it also does come with a little screw if you want to make the adjustments to the left, right, up and down, and also if you could push it out in order to be able to take the battery out of the top. Unlike a lot of the current red dots that are out there right now, you can remove it from the top so that way you don't lose the zero on the gun. If you do, for whatever reason, have to take it the red dot off to get serviced, it also does come with an Allen wrench to be able to remove the 2 screws, and then it'll simply come off. To turn it on, you'll just have to push either the up or down button, hold it momentarily for about 2 to 3 seconds, watch for the red dot to come on. The nice thing about this red dot sight is that it does actually co-witness with the front and rear sight. When they first started putting red dot sights on pistols, generally, a lot of times there either was no rear sight or it didn't co-witness. So if someone went to do a quick grab out of the holster or had a bad grab out of the holster and went to present it forward, if they didn't have something to help aid them, they would be looking for that sight, and that would be a time delay for them to be able to get the sight on the target. With this being co-witness with the red dot, if you do have a bad grab, you go to point it at the target, you can simply find your front sight, turn the gun in whatever direction, it'll put the red dot. You could also use the sights, and then from there, for multiple targets, it'll be a quicker transition. Also, if the battery does die or something does happen, you can immediately go into using the iron sights itself. This gun does actually come with a standard 17-round magazine. If you go to change this to a compact or some compact grip, you will have to go ahead and go down to the 10-round magazines. I actually, also from Sig Sauer, use the 21-round magazine. So overall, and I say this from my 26 years experience in the military using the Beretta M9, is I do believe that this is going to be a good replacement, with the fact that you can modularly change the grip or change it from a full size to a compact. Not that they're going to change from one caliber to the other, but for the civilian sector, that will be a nice feature. You could do a lot more things with this firearm versus what you can do for the M9. So I do think that this will be a good overall replacement. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.